part of yesterday's session, we discussed about what is Windows Failover Cluster, what is cluster, okay, what are the components are Microsoft is offering on top of the cluster, and we discussed about how many types of cluster like active, passive, what is active, what is passive, and what do you mean by active cluster. We discussed and we discussed couple of the components, okay, like public IP address, private IP address, and shared storage. And we discussed little about the quorum. We not had much discuss about the quorum. Okay. As part of today's session, what we are going to build is we'll build complete Windows Failover Cluster, okay, from scratch level. So let's build the infrastructure. Before I go and build what we are doing now, let's discuss a part, then we'll go for the configuration. Okay. So first, what we are going to build. So we are going to build 3 VMs. Okay. 3 VMs here. Being we are under free tail subscription under one resource group, you can create maximum 4 cores. Means 4 VMs you can deploy. So what we are going to do is first we are going to build one server as a DC server, domain controller server, as a domain controller server where you are going to build Active Directory, domain controller, okay, DNS, okay, and sandbox, shared storage, SAN. So this server will plays a major role. This server will plays a major role and doing many things here. Okay, many things. You are going to configure Active Directory, domain controller, DNS also you are going to install, domain network service also you are going to install, and you are also going to configure as a state storage, sandbox. You are also going to configure as a sandbox. And finally, we are going to make, okay, we are going to make this server as a clustered server. Cluster server. Okay. Apart from this server is also becoming as a clustered server. This server is making, we are making as a clustered server. Is it clear, right, everyone? So what we are going to do, we are going to build one VM, and we are making this VM as Active Directory VM, domain controller VM, DNS VM, and along with SAN, along with this server is also acting as a clustered server. Or you can do one thing, you can build one more VM, okay, and you can build the clustered server here. Clustered server here. Okay, you can build, okay, let's do one thing. This let's dedicate it only for domain controller, Active Directory, DNS, and sandbox. Okay, let's build one more VM, call it as a clustered server, and then we will, what we will do, right? We will build 2 more VMs where you are going to install the SQL server, where we are going to build node 1, node 2. Okay, node 1, node 2. Here, these 2 servers are going to part of cluster in single data center. Okay, we are going to first build the high availability. Later on, we will build the DR as well. Okay, we are not building the DR now. We are not configuring the DR now. So we are going to build the high availability. First, let's go and build the high availability. What do you mean by high availability? Within the data center, you are going to maintain 2 copies. Within the data center, you can maintain 1 or 2 copies. So you can maintain more copies as well. But here, we are going to maintain only 2 copies to maintain the high availability. For DR purpose, we will build one more VM later on, not now. So first what we are going to do, so we are going to build the DC server, and we are going to build the cluster server, okay, and we are going to build the node 1, node 2. Total, we are going to configure 4 server, and all 4 servers have been part of the same network. Okay, same data center, same network. One region. Data center is nothing but one region. We are going to choose one region, and we are going to build everything 4 VMs in the single data center. So better, because being we are under free tail subscription, I told you, right, we are having some IP address restriction in one resource group. IP address restriction in one resource group. So let's do one thing. Okay, let's build this configuration first. Okay, and later on, after maybe tomorrow, next session, we will try to build the Windows Failover Cluster. First, let's build the infrastructure, complete infrastructure. So first we need to create the resource group, RG. Next, we need to build the networks, virtual networks we need to build. Once we build the virtual networks, then we need to build the virtual machines, VMs. VMs. Okay. Now, once while building the VMs, we once we're done, then we will build the sandbox. We'll build rest of the things. Rest of the things. Mostly in real world, you won't get this chance. Okay. In real world, so admin people will Windows people Azure admin people will build a complete infrastructure for us, and they will hand over to the DBS, and we will install the SQL server. Being here, no one is available. We are doing everything from the scratch level. So we are doing everything from the scratch level. Let's go and build the VMs. So let's go and build the VMs. Is it clear, everyone? No? Yes? So what we are going to do? So we are going to first create the resource group, and we are going to create the network, and we are going to build the four VMs. We are going to build the four VMs. We are going to build the four VMs, and later on we will build the rest of the configuration. We will build the rest of the configuration. First, let's go and do one by one. First, create the resource group, then create the network, then create the VMs. Then later on, we'll do all this setup by today. Now, next. So first, let's go and create a resource group. I told you, right? Under free trial subscription, we are having some issues when you are going to deploy the VM. First, to go and see in which region you are going to deploy the VM as part of today. Okay. Let's see where we are going to deploy. And one more thing, we are going to build this in Windows Server 2016 VMs operating systems, Windows Server 2016 operating system. Okay. So when we are going to discuss always on availability group, when we are going to discuss always on availability group, we will build the OS Windows Server 2019. Okay. Then you will get to know what is the difference between till Windows Server 2016 after to the Windows Server 2016. What is the major difference you will notice when you are going to when you are going to work with the cloud, especially when you are working with the cloud. Okay. So let's go and see whether you are going to deploy in East West Windows Server 2016. We are able to build it. I think yes. Why I'm choosing East US is little faster when you compare with other regions, and more reliable, more redundancy when you go for East US, well designed data center. Mm, Yeah, no, we can't deploy. Okay, let's go for West US only. West US 2. Okay, we are able to deploy West US 2. Let's go and create the first resource group. Okay. So as I told you, first when you are working with especially with the cloud Azure, first you need to create the resource group. I am making as a primary, okay, primary D, primary resource group, primary data center. This is data center, primary DC resource group, and I am selecting West US 2 and click on review and create it. So first, as I told you, we created a resource group. Next, we need to create the network. Let's go to the virtual network. Let's go to the virtual network and create the virtual network next. Stop me if you're not understanding, okay? So let's provide primary, okay, DC VNet, VNet, okay, security, don't touch anything, let it be default. Go to the IP address, go for 10.1.0.0/16. Let's go for /16. Let's create the subnet. We already discussed all this stuff. Subnet A. Okay, let's go for 1. Let's go for 24. So I am going for 10.1.1.0/24. I'm creating the subnet with 10.1. So /16 means you can change these two and you are getting almost 65,536 IP addresses. But I don't want that many IP addresses for my SQL. So I am going to segregate to 24, 10.1.10.1.1.0, and I'm going for /24 where you will get 256 IP addresses. Click on add. Okay, then click on review and create it. So I am created one network under the West US2. I I'm going to build the network first. So once network is ready, then we are good to build the VMs. We are good to build the VMs. So better don't go for heavy storage, sir. It may consume it may consume your amount like anything. Let's let's see. Slowly we'll go on first. We'll try to deploy the VMs. So here I told you, right? DC server is also belong to the going to the sandbox. Okay, let's do one thing. Now, Caesar, I created one resource group. Okay, resource group, and I build one network. If you go to the resource group, if you go to the resource group, you can get the information how many resources are available. Only one resources, that is nothing but one virtual network. One virtual network. Apart from nothing else I done, I just created one virtual network which is 10.1.0.0/16 and one subnet I created. I created only one subnet. I created one network and one subnet. Now let's go and deploy the VMs. Okay. All VMs are being part of single subnet. Please be be understandable. All the VMs are going to be part of single subnet. Okay, this is single subnet cluster. Okay, single subnet cluster. So going forward, we'll also discuss multi-subnet always on availability group. When we are going to discuss always on availability group, again I will discuss single subnet always on availability group, multi-subnet always on availability group. What is the drawback with single subnet always on availability group? What is the advance with the multi-subnet always on availability group? We'll discuss and we'll see the practicals whenever we are deploying the VMs. Now this is completely a single subnet network. I just created one network. If you want, you can go to the network and open the network and see only one subnet we created. Only one subnet. Only one subnet which is 10.1.1.0/24. Uh, When you go for /24, obviously you will get 256 IP address, 256 IP addresses. But here you are able to see 251 IP address only. Okay, every subnet. So Azure, okay, IP. Let's go for not IP. Virtual network. Okay, FAQs. So let's discuss one thing. I missed that one. Yeah, see, whenever you create any subnet under one network, under network you will create the subnet, right? For every subnet, 5 IP address will be reserved. For every subnet, 5 IP address will be reserved. Not only in Azure, even when you go for AWS, you go Google Cloud, so 5 IP address will be reserved when you create any subnet. When you create any subnet, even in AWS also, you will create the VPC. In Azure, you are going to create the VNet. Under VNet, you are going to create the subnets. Subnets. This is in Azure. Okay. When you go for AWS, you will create the VPC. Okay, UPC, and we'll create the subnets. We'll create the subnets. That is only the difference you will see. So how you are going to work with the Azure, same how you will work with the AWS as well. But here technically you are calling as a VNet. Here technically you are calling as a VPC. Okay, subnet, same concept. Okay, next NSG, same concept. Inbound roles, outbound roles, all are the same concept. There is routing tables, express route, all are the same concept. There is no change, but the naming will be different. So in Azure, you are creating the virtual networks and you are going to create the subnets. In AWS, you are going to create the VPC, and under VPC, you are going to create the subnets. You are going to create the subnets. So that's the only one difference you will see apart from nothing. Here also, every subnet, 5 IP address will be reserved. Here also, for every subnet, 5 IP address will be reserved. So what are the 5 IP address which are reserved means? Okay, see sir. Okay, so whatever the IP address you are selecting, whatever it may be, 10 dot or 172.1, whatever the subnets you are designing, okay, which ends with 0 is reserved for the network address. 1 is reserved for the Azure default gateways, for default gateways. Okay. 2 and 3 are reserved for the Azure to map the DNS IP addresses to the virtual network space. This this first 3 IP address, 0, 1, 2, 3 IP address will be reserved. You can't use. Can I use these IP addresses? Okay. Don't say 192.168, 192.168. It may be 192, it may be 10, it may be 172, it may be any, sir. Ending masking, ending bit, 0, 1, 2, 3, you can't use. You can't use. So whenever you are going to create any resources, the first IP address which will be mapped is 4. Okay, and even 255 also you can't use it because it is using for the network broadcasting address. So it is also reserved. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 IP address are reserved for every subnet. For every subnet, 5 IP address will be reserved. You can't use these 5 IP addresses. Out of these 5 IP addresses, you can use as many as. Okay, clear? This is also you. They won't ask any question, but maybe we can expect this question. How many IP you are good at IP networking? If you are telling yes, okay, they may ask you how many IP address reserved for subnets. So 5 IP address will be reserved. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 255 IP address will be reserved. One is for network address, one is for gateways, one is for DNS, two is for DNS, and one is for the broadcasting address. So this 5 IP address reserved for every subnet. For every subnet. That's the reason you are able to see only 251 IP address. Whenever you create any VM, now whenever you create any, not only VM, whenever you create any resources, the IP address will start with the .4 because up to 3 it is reserved. The first IP address it is used .4. I don't want tell to Azure, sir, can I give my own IP address? Yes, of course, you can also assign your own IP address. You can assign your own IP address. How I can assign my own IP address means you can create the NIC card. You can create the NIC card, network interface card, NIC card. Okay, currently nothing is there, right? Now you can create your own NIC card, network interface card. So here you can create the resource group and you can specify the network specify the NIC card name, and here you can go for the not dynamic, you can go for static, and you can provide 10.1.1.15. Okay, 15. My own, I can go for my own IP address. So when I'm specifying, okay, DC VM, okay, DC VM. Okay, DCVM. So I can go for my own NIC card. I don't want tell to Azure to allocate the IP address dynamically. I need to go for static. How I can do it, Subbu, means I can create my own NIC card, and I can assign this NIC card to the VM, dedicatedly. I can do it, sir. Okay, I can do it. So we'll discuss this stuff in the upcoming slowly one by one. Okay, you will get to know how about NIC card, what is NSG, very important, what is inbound rules, what is outbound rules, very important. We'll discuss all this stuff, sir. Okay, no worries on that part. Once once we build the infrastructure, we'll talk on more on this part. Now, we done resource group, we done the networks. Now, what I am going to do? Now we are going to build the Okay, now we are going to build the VMs. Now we are going to build the VMs. So up to up to our wish, sir. Okay, how I need to configure. So better what I will do means mostly, okay, this VM I will make everything like this VM I will make Active Directory, domain controller, DNS, SAN along with the cluster. Okay, and I will build only two VMs. So is it comfortable for you, everyone? Can I build only three VMs, everyone? Anything is fine, sir. I because again we need to build one more VM, do all the setup. We no need to do all the setup. Anyhow, we are doing all the setup here, right? Just this VM is also making as a cluster VM. Is it fine, right, everyone? No?
Yeah, sir.
Subbu, instead of a single cluster server, we can go for the node 3, right? In that case, we can understand the how failures happen, everything in easy manner.
What node 3, sir?
Here you're defining only two, right? Node 1, node 2.
Huh.
So
So
along
I,
with do node 3 also.
yeah, of course, sir, I will do it. That's nothing but DR. I will do
Okay,
it that
okay,
one as
Subbu.
well.
Okay, Subbu. Okay, Subbu.
No, I think you not understand the concept. See, what I wanted to convey is in real world, you will create the cluster VM. Okay. I wanted to show you the cluster VM as well. Of course, I will build one more server DR. DR. I will build DR as well. So to how the DRs, once I need to build a different network, different region. Okay, different network, different region. I need to make the communication, and I will add the servers. Everything will do it. Okay. Now what I am going to do is this server. I am doing everything, sir. Okay. This server is acting as Active Directory server, domain controller server, DNS server, along with the SAN server, along with the cluster. Okay. Today we are not going to build the cluster. If time permits, I will build the cluster by today itself. If time not permits, we'll build in the next session. Maximum, I will try to build the cluster by today itself. It won't take more time, sir. Okay. Now first, go and build the VM, sir. Now first, I am going to create the VM called DC, domain controller. Okay, so I am choosing my subscription. I am choosing the resource group. I am going to for DC and CS hyphen CS, nothing but cluster server. Okay, this is acting as a domain controller. Along with this is also acting as a cluster server, sir. Not CC. Let's make cluster. Okay, VM easily for your understanding. And region, okay, east to west only. Availability zone, I don't want any availability zone, sir. I will talk this availability zone when I'm going to build the always on availability group. Okay, no worries on that stuff. And security, let's go for standard. Image is very important, sir. As I told you, first I'm going to build in Windows Server 2016. Next demo, I will delete complete this. Again, I will build from scratch level. At that time, I will show you on Windows Server 2019 or Windows Server 2022. Both are same only, sir. After Windows Server 2016, from till Windows Server 2016, what is the difference you will notice? You need to understand that's very important. First, let's go for Windows Server 2016. Next demo, when we are going to discuss always on availability group, I will go for Windows Server 2019. For always on also, we need to build the clusters. For always on also, I will try to build the clusters. So you will get to know the difference between Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019 onwards. Okay, let's go for Windows Server 2016. Okay, I'm going for Windows Server 2016 and let's go for one CPU. 3.5 GB is enough, sir. Don't don't go for any higher, sir, because you need to build the VMs. So under Freetail subscription, there are only 4 cores you can use it under one resource group. Under one resource group, you can use only 4 cores. So let's go for one core with 3.5 GB of RAM. This is too good for you. Okay, this is too good for you. You are not doing any performance tuning, all this stuff, sir. You are just doing the configurations, failoring, failback, applying the patches, configuring, lock shipping, mirroring, clusters, always on replication on top of the VMs, right? One core with 3.5 GB of RAM is too good for you. Okay, now scroll down and provide the username and password as you already know, sir. Stop me if you're not getting, okay? Don't don't simply sit idle. Okay, and I'm going for inbound rule and I'm enabling 33389 port number. Let it be. No, I don't need to change anything. Now go to the disk. Okay, go to the disk. Now, sir, by default it is going for 128 GB. Let's go. Let's do one thing, sir. This is the C drive. This is the C drive. I don't want to go for premium SSD, sir. It is little costlier. Okay, I don't want to go for premium. Let's go for um, standard HDD. Okay, that is too good. We don't want. We are not playing anything with the storage also. Let it be standard SSD. Standard HDD. Standard HDD, sir. That's the one thing. I told you, right? This server is also, this server is also becoming like a sandbox. This server is also becoming like a sandbox, right? For storage, what I'm going to do, for storage, I'm going to create a disk. For storage, I'm going to create a disk. Okay, let's create one disk, sir. Let's create one disk. Only one disk, sir. I don't want, when we are discussing always on availability group, I will create multiple disks, sir. I will create G drive, D drive, like data file drive, log file drive, temp DB drive. Okay, let's create different drives. Let's create different drives. Let's create different drives. When we are practicing, always on availability group. Being it is a clusters, we don't want those many drives, sir. When we are going to create the sandbox, we'll create the different drives. Let it be one drive, sir. I'm choosing one drive. Let's create one disk here, and I'm going for I don't want SSD, sir. Let it be standard SSD. Let it be 1024 GB. That's fine. Let's go for okay. It's fine, sir. Okay. Here there is nothing. There is a concept called hot caching. Okay. No worries. We'll discuss all this type when we are discussing storage concept. As of now, I don't want any hot caching. Let it be none. Let it be none. This is one interesting concept. This is one very interesting concept where you will see in cloud, not in on-prem. We'll discuss when we are going to discuss in the storage. When we are discussing storage, we'll discuss this concept about hot caching, what is LUN. We'll discuss lots of storage, okay? Along with the storage account also we'll discuss. No worries. As of now, just create one disk. Let it be default. Let's go for LUN zero, and this is your disk name. This is the size, and I am choosing standard SSD because where I am going to store the my SQL data, right? Let it be, sir. Is it clear, right, everyone? No? Yes? On DC, on DC, I created one additional disk because because this disk is going to convert as a SAN. This disk will convert as a SAN. Okay? On top of this disk only, we are going to create the SAN storage, SAN storages. Okay, so that's the reason we created a separate disk, sir. Separate disk. Now go to the network. No worries, we are having only one network. It will automatically will pick the network, and we are having only one subnet. Hey, one second. Why it is showing as a 10 dots? Come on. Hey, sorry. I need to choose it. Sorry. Forget. Okay, right. Got it. So I need to pick my network. I need to pick my subnet. Okay, my I need to pick my network. I need to pick my subnet. Just now I told you, right? I don't want to go for dynamic IP address mapping. Okay, I need to go for static IP address mapping means I created the NIC card. I will create the NIC card and I will assign my NIC card to the VM, right? So here you can do one thing, sir. If you already created a NIC card, you can go to the advanced and you can select your own NIC card, your own network security NIC card, network security group. So here we can do it, sir. Okay, here we can do it. As of now, don't make So complex are this configuration. Let it be simple. Let it be simple. I will show you. I told you that I will take one more couple of sessions on the inbound rules, outbound rules, network security groups, because we must and should know all this concept in depth, sir. Okay, because you are going to allow the port numbers, you are going to restrict the port numbers, you are going to monitor whenever you are working, especially with the cloud. These are all concepts are very important. Okay, I'm not making too much complex now. I will make too much complex when we are discussing advanced level. Okay, so let it be. Don't change anything. Just go to the network. Just go to the subnet. Apart from nothing else, sir. Just go to the management. Here also nothing. But for safety purpose, what I'm going to do, I am making auto shutdown, sir, every day at 7 p.m. Automatically my VMs will be shut down. Automatically my VMs will be shut down every day at 7 p.m. In case if I missed, automatically my VM will be shut down. And I don't want updates, sir. Let it go for manual updates. Let's go for manual updates. Monitoring, disable the boot diagnostics. Advanced also, I'm not touching anything. Just go and review and create it. So how much Microsoft is charging? Nine means almost 10 rupees Microsoft is charging per hour. Just create a VM. So my DC VM is getting ready. My DC cluster VM is getting ready, sir. My DC cluster VM is getting ready. Like same, I need to create two more VMs, node 1, node 2. Node 1, node 2. I need to create two more VMs, node 1, node 2. This VM is ready. Now I'm going to create the node 1, node 2. Questions? Anyone? No? Yes?
Here we are creating one more additional disk. So we have two disks here, correct? One for
Yes,
storing
sir.
data and
One is a traditional C drive only, sir. Okay, one is
C
for
drive. Yeah, okay.
traditional C drive, which is I created as a HDD, standard HDD.
Yeah,
I don't, because we are having only 200 dollars, right? If I go for premium, Microsoft will
yeah,
charge a
yeah, yeah,
little higher, sir. I don't want waste that $200. Let it be, because we are not doing anything. We are just conferring. Okay?
yeah, yeah. And the
Yeah.
data drive is 100 GB, something like that.
Yeah. Right, sir.
So both are HDD only, correct? Data drive and C drive.
No, data drive I went for standard SSD.
Standard
Standard SSD.
HDD.
SSD. SSD. Not
Oh,
premium SSD.
oh, okay, SSD. Oh, okay, okay. So that
SSD.
will cost bit higher than HDD.
Yes. No, we'll discuss storage part, sir.
Yeah,
Two
okay.
days, 2 days we will spend on storage. Uh, one day whole one session we'll spend on the networks again. Okay. At that time I will block the internet connection. I will block the internet connection. When you block the internet connection, how you can access the services, cloud services. Sir, it's you need internet connection, right? I will block the internet connection. Then I will show you how to access the services. That time you will become so strong. Okay? Is it clear getting my point? I will block the
Yeah,
internet
yeah, yeah.
connection. Okay, I will show you how to block the internet connection. Then I will show you how to access the services while internet is enabled, while internet is disabled. Okay, both I will show you practical demos. That time you will become strong in inbound rules, outbound rules, network security groups, NIC cards, all the stuff. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
now I'm going to build a node 1. Let's go to the node 1. Choose the resource group. Okay, choose the resource group and go to the node 1. And I don't want any availability zone, sir. I will talk this one in when we are discussing. I told you that always an availability group. Let's go for Windows Server 2016 with the 1 core 3.5 GB of RAM. It's a admin. Okay, now here I'm not going anything, sir. Okay, let it be same. I'm not touching anything. I am not creating any disks as well for. Sir, this is a SQL VM basically, where I'm going to install the SQL node 1 hyphen SQL. Let's make as a SQL. This is a SQL VM. Okay, where I'm going to install the SQL. Here I am not creating any disk. Why, Subham? Is, sir, I know that this is part of cluster. This is going to cluster, SQL on cluster. As I told you, right? When you go for SQL on cluster, you can't store your data in the local disk, correct? Then what is the purpose of creating the disk? I don't want any disk, sir. I don't want any disk. Let it be. Let it be, because I wanted to create the SAN disk, network shared disk, right? I will show you how to create the network shared disk, how to map the network shared disk to the VMs. So you no need to create any disk, sir. This one, let it be default. Don't touch anything. Let it be default here. Okay, go to the networks as usually same. Okay, so I'm going for the networks. It picked my network and it picked my subnet. And management, I told you, right? Go for auto shutdown, sir, for safety purpose. And I don't want updates. Let it be manual. Monitoring disable and click on review and create it. Click on review and create it. So same amount Microsoft is charging. Okay, let's go and create it. Now let's make duplicate and create one more VM, sir. Create one more VM. So finally we are going to create the 3 VMs. Okay, this VM is ready. DC and cluster VM is ready. DC and my cluster VM is ready, sir. Okay, let it be ready. Let's create one more VM, sir. Node 2 hyphen SQL. Here also I don't want redundancy. Let's go for standard. Let's go for Windows Server 2016 data center 16. Let's go for one core with 3.5 GB. SA admin and password. You can provide your own password. Almost when we are going to build the always and also it will be similar, but majorly what you will see here, I will create the disks, multiple disks. Okay, data file drive, log file drive, backup drive. Okay, I will create multiple disk here. I will create multiple drive here when we are discussing always an availability group. But we already know that this is going for SQL on cluster. We don't want any disk or additional disk. Okay, let it be. Disk will be default. I don't want touch any disk. Networking also default. Auto shutdown. Let's go for auto shutdown and let's go for manual. Monitoring, disable. Let's review and create it. So my all 3 VMs are ready. My all 3 VMs are ready, sir. Now what I can do, copy this one for my understanding. So what you can do, sir, you can download mremote.mg. Okay. It will open, no. Okay, open this, sir. So you can go to the Google. So just go to the Google and download mremote.ng. Okay. You can just click here, click on download. Go to here and click on just download it, sir. Okay, where it is, download. Okay, so you can go for zip file. You can go for zip file, download it, and once you download, you can just open the file. No need to install, sir, and you can just pin it. You can just pin it. So now once you open mremote.ng, you can register all the servers here, sir. I don't want to go for every time run. I don't want to go every time MSDSC and provide the IP address, because I need to restart multiple times. Okay, multiple times. Every time I don't want uh, uh, go and provide RDP, go and take RDP, go and take RDP. I don't want to do it, sir. So what you can do, you can download mremote.ng, or you can download remote connection manager, whatever flexibility tools you can, but better go for mremote.ng, sir. And what you need to do, delete all this stuff, sir. Let's delete and let's create from scratch level. Let's delete and let's create from scratch. Right click. Okay, new connection. Now provide the name, server name, sir. Okay, provide the server name, and what you can do, go to the server, copy the public IP address. Okay, here you need to provide the public IP address. Okay, public IP address. You need to provide the username. Okay, and you need to provide the password, whatever the password you provided, and you need to provide the domain name. Currently, I not yet configured domain, sir. That's the reason I'm not passing anything. Once we build the domain controller, then I will provide the domain name here. As of now, you no need to provide anything, sir. And by default, it is RDP and it is a port is 3389 port number. By default, it is enabled. You no need to do anything, sir. Now you can just double click this one. Now it will try to connect. You no need to provide every time your username and password. It will try to make the connection. See, sir, it will connect to the server directly. Okay. Now I need to make one more connection and I need to make node 1 hyphen SQL. Node 1 hyphen SQL. Now I need to go to the node 1. Oh, still it is creating. How much time it will take? Okay, done, sir. Let's go to the node 1. Okay. So copy the public IP address. Okay. Go to mremote-ng. Again, same, sir. Provide here and provide username and provide the password. Provide the password and just you need to double click on. Okay. Now it will try to open node 1 as well. No worries, sometime it will pop up. Okay, just provide your password once again. Whenever your network is little slow, it will pop up like incorrect password. Just provide the password, sir. It will try to establish the connection. Okay, your VM is ready. DC VM is ready. Node VM is yet to start, sir. Let's go to the node 2 also finally, and we'll make the node 2 also ready. So this is the easiest technique. You every time no need to provide your username and password when you are trying to connect to the server after multiple restarts, because you need to restart multiple times. Hey.
Subbu, we can use this tool in live environment also?
Yes, sir. Of course. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. For example, you created all this like this, sir. Okay. You created. You can create all like this. Now you want to, for example, in your team, okay, a new member has been joined. Okay, you already segregated, so you can create the folder called prod. See, you can create the folder called prod. You can create the folder called dev. You can create the folder called test, and you register all the servers from here itself. Okay, from here itself. Now, once any one of the new team member join on your organization, okay, you will tell that you can download mremote-ng. Okay, and again they need to register, right? It's very difficult. What you can do, you can go to the files, you can export. When you are exporting, you can exclude the username, password, sir. Okay, and you can export into the file, and you can send this file to the new team member whoever joined. What that new team member will do, once he open the remote mg, he will go to the file. He can okay, he can import the file so that he can see all the servers. Now he will update his username, he will update his password. It's good, right, everyone? So you no need to every time, whenever new team member is being joined, every time they need to find the server names. Easily you can get it, sir. Okay, so you can export, you can send it to the file, they can import the file. So you've been already segregated, right? By default, they will also get the same hierarchy. Okay, they no need to again go and create the folders, create the connections. So just they need to provide their usernames and passwords. Usernames and passwords. Because you are not exporting your username and passwords. That is the one advantage with the remote MG. NG, sorry, not MG. Let's connect to the node 2 also, sir. Now my DC. Yes, sir.
This found better than remote manager because it's found very easy to use. Because I am struggling with the remote manager. It is my colleague gave me that some file, but it is not working for me. Maybe he didn't export it.
Remote MG. I am also using remote MG only, sir. Okay, I'm also using remote MG. Yes, as you told, yes, right. It's little, even they will create sometimes. That's a problem. But this is little easier.
The companies will allow. I don't know this. They will
It,
allow this or
it will allow, sir. Yes. Maybe most of the people are unaware. It will allow maximum, yes.
okay.
Okay, let's now up to this everyone clear, sir. Any questions? So nothing I done. I just created a resource group. I just created a network. I just built the three VMs. Apart from nothing else we done, sir. And we connected all the three VMs. So see, it won't take more time when you especially working with the cloud. Okay, so it won't take more time, sir. But when you are working with on-prem, oh my God, so it may take little longer time because my VMs, our VMs are not that much smoothly running, right? Can we our VMs are having not having that many resources sometimes. We may face little challenges, but cloud is very easy, sir. That is a one reason I told you to practice everything on your laptop, log shipping, mirroring, replication. Now you are going to build the infrastructure. Now you can again practice log shipping, mirroring, replication, clusters always on top of VMs. Hey, 1 second, guys. Bye. Mm, Lunchtime వస్తా. Promise? Please, na. Please, please. Sorry. Okay. Now I build the all three VMs. Now we build the three VMs. So this VM is important for us, sir, because this is doing many things. Okay. This is acting as Active Directory. This is acting as a domain controller. This is acting as a SAN storage. This is also acting as a DNS. Means we are installing the DNS as well. Okay. For better understanding purpose, sir. And this VM is also acting as a cluster VM. This VM is acting as a cluster VM. Now this node 1, node 2 is nothing, sir. It's our SQL servers. Okay. Mostly this server we don't have, mostly in real world we don't have access, sir. Domain controller, Active Directory servers, they won't allow us to access. They won't allow us to access, sir, mostly. Okay. So please keep it in mind. Let's go and do next, sir. Once you connect all these three servers, okay, even sir, if you close also, the connection will be saved automatically. You no need to save it, sir. You no need to go and here save nothing, sir. Once you provide the IP address, username, password, automatically this will be saved. Auto save, sir. No, you no need to save anything. You no need to save anything. Now, better what you can do, right? Once you set up everything, you can export in real world. You can export, sir, for better safe side. Okay, safe side you can export. Now, next, once we're done, now what is the next thing is, okay, what is the next thing is, okay, now we need to enable the firewalls, enable the ports, disable the firewalls, enable the ports, disable the firewalls, and we need to install couple of services, sir. We need to install couple of services. Let's go to the start. You will find the call server manager, or you can search here, search server manager. Anything is fine. You can open the server manager. See, we can do many things here. Okay. So first, let's go and install, sir. Install the services first. So I told you, right? This is going to belong to the domain controller, Active Directory, all the stuff, right? Let's go to the manage. Click on add roles and features. Click on add roles and features. Okay. So, sir, internet should be little faster. But when you, for example, you don't have internet and you are using RSpot, it may slow, sir. Better you can practice in the morning. Morning, your network will be little bit faster. You can practice if you don't have internet connection on your home, and you are completely rely on the hotspot. Okay, mobile hotspot. You can practice on the home. You can practice in the morning hours. If you are having Wi-Fi, mostly it will be faster only, sir. Okay. Now you are going to install the features. Okay. Now click on next. So using this wizard, you can install the features, you can install the roles, you can install the features. So you need to select role-based or feature-based installation. Click on next. Click on next. So nothing to change, sir. Click on next. Let it be default. Click on next. Now here, oh, sorry. Currently, I need to go for first DC server. Sorry, sir. First, I need to go for DC. Let's open. Let's open whatever node you want to install, sir. There is no hierarchy, okay? But first, I need to build my domain. First, I need to install Active Directory. I need to build my domain. This is first priority for us, sir. So go to the manage. Go to the ads roles and features. Click on next. Click on next. Nothing. No need to change anything, sir. Now this is very important. We are under DC server, sir. Okay, we are under DC server. Now first here, this server is going to belong to the Active Directory, and you are going to build the domain controller. So for that, first what you need to install, you need to install Active Directory domain service. Active Directory domain service. This is very important. Okay, this is very important. First, you need to install Active Directory domain service. Active Directory domain service. Okay, that is one important. One more is I told you, right? This server is also belong to the DNS. Okay, DNS. So now I am installing the DNS server. DNS as well. In this server only we are going to install DNS as well. Just click on okay. Nothing you need to change DNS. And I told you, right, this server is also belong to the SAN. This server we are going to create the SAN. So earlier, like before Windows Server 2012, before Windows Server 2012, okay, uh, we don't have iSCSI initiator, sir. We don't have iSCSI initiator. This is the service which is introduced in Windows Server 2012 onwards. Okay, before Windows Server 2012, we don't have any iSCSI initiator. If you want to create the shared SanDisk, okay, you are going to use the tools, third-party tools. We are going to use the third-party tools earlier. As of now, you no need any third-party tools, sir. You can create the iSCSI SanDisk. You can create the SanDisk using iSCSI. Using iSCSI, you can create the SanDisk. You can create the shared disk. Not SanDisk. We should not call it as a SanDisk, sir. We can call it as a shared disk. You can create the shared disk using iSCSI from Windows Server 2012 onwards. So this server is going to belong to the Active Directory. This server is also going to belong to the DNS. This server is also going to belong to the SAN storage, right? Now you need to expand files and storage, expand files and iSCSI service, and you need to select the iSCSI target, iSCSI target, iSCSI target server. So this is only you need to install, sir. So under server roles, very important, under server roles, under DC server, because this server I'm going to belong everything, sir. See, in this server I am going to build everything. I am going to build everything. I'm going to build Active Directory, domain controller, DNS, SAN. So all four I'm installing. Assume I don't want to install SAN in this server. I need to install SAN in a different server. Then you no need to install this one, sir. Whatever the server you are going to choose to create the shared disk on that server, you need to install iSCSI target server. Okay, iSCSI target server. Please keep it in mind. This is very important. But being I am going to build everything in this server, so I am choosing Active Directory, DNS, and shared SAN storage as well. Apart from nothing else, you need to select here, sir. Let it be, let it be default. Nothing here you need to change. Okay, then click on next. Okay, then click on next. And one more thing I told you, right? This server is also belong to the cluster server. This server is also belong to the cluster server. Being this server is going to belong to the cluster server, you need to install failover cluster. You need to install failover cluster. Okay, you need to install failover clustering. This is the service you need to install. This is the feature you need to install. See, sir, when you open services.msc, when you open services.msc, there is no service called cluster service here. There is no service called cluster service here. Once you install failover cluster, see, there is no, there is no cluster service. See, nothing. There is no, it's called cluster service here. Once you install failover clustering, you will get one service called cluster service that will plays a major role for entire clustering. That will plays a major role for entire clustering, sir. Now you need to install failover clustering. And if you want to perform telnet, so if you wanted to perform telnet, you can install telnet, but no need for any telnet because we will use a testnet connection going forward. We no need to install telnet, but let's install the telnet as well if you wanted to test the port numbers working on whether ports are enabled or disabled, okay, or allowed or blocked, okay. Then you will use the telnet, right? If you want telnet, you can install the telnet, sir. Otherwise, no need any telnet. So click on next. So so this is going to build the Active Directory domain service. So this is the our first importance, sir. Okay, and it is going to build the DNS as well. We are going to build the Active Directory domain service. We are going to build the DNS. Along with we are going to install failover clustering. Along with we are going to install iSCSI target as well. So these are the major four services: domain, DNS, failover clustering, iSCSI, along with the telnet. Apart from nothing else we are doing telnet, sir. Okay, and the dependency services it will install. You no need to do anything. Just click on install. Just click on install. Is it clear, everyone? No? Yes? So let it be installed, sir. Sometimes it will fail. Again, you need to reinstall, sir, because I told you, right? Your network should be little faster. Your network should be little faster. Sometimes it will throw an errors. Okay, just again reinstall. Try once again. Try once again, sir. Mostly due to internets only, the problem will start. Otherwise, nothing will block here. You are just installing the products. This is the fun thing, sir. Let it be. Let it be. Okay. Now what you need to do? Okay. Open the server manager. Okay. Let it be installed. Open the server within the server manager. Go to the local server. Okay. Internet Explorer enhanced security. Just turn it off, sir. Sir, again, one more thing I'm saying. Okay. We are not super good at networks. We are not super good at VM level. We are not super good at storage level. Uh, because we are a SQL team. Okay. So for safety purpose, I am blocking all the firewalls, enabling the ports. Okay, for safety purpose, sir. For safety purpose. So just keep it in your mind. This is very important. So now you need to go to the search for firewalls. Firewalls. Go for the firewalls. Okay. So inbound outbound rules are very important, sir. I will talk more on these concepts. Now let's create the inbound rules in real world. What we will do, right? For example, ports. Now click on next. So now let me ask you a question. What are the ports we will use in SQL Server? What are the ports, sir? What are the ports?
One.
What are the
1433,
okay 1433
5022,
5022? If it is always an availability group or you are going for mirroring, sir, 1433 is not a fixed, sir. What port you are using for SQL Server, you need to pass the SQL Server port number. Okay, you need to allow the SQL Server port number, and you need to allow the UDP port number 1434. Okay,
5023. 5023.
5023. Why, sir? Okay, mostly in real world, We will use either you are going for mirroring, either you are going for always on. We'll use the single ports only. Maximum you'll go for single ports, sir. See, you know that what type of configuration you are doing. Okay, whether it is going to part of mirroring, it is going to part of always on. Okay, so what are the ports we want to do? Either it is going for reporting purpose. Reporting, sir. SSRS, Power BI. So for SSRS, okay, for SSRS, so for Power BI, so we will pass this port numbers 80 and 443. 80 and 443 for mirroring on always on will pass the port number 5022. Okay, if you are going for all the default ports, if you are going for all the default ports, then we'll go for this one, sir. Otherwise, we'll change different ports. Okay, we'll change different ports. For example, you are working with service broker. Okay, then you can go for 4022 port number. Okay, uh, uh, I will share one document, sir, regarding the ports. What are the important ports you need to remember? Okay, you need to remember. Let's you know that what purpose this VM you are going to build. What purpose you are going to build the VM. What are the ports you are enabling based on your requirement? If you are going for mirroring, if you're going for always on, if you're going for SSIS, if you are going for SSRS, if you are going for analysis services, what type of ports? So, for example, this is also belong to the clusters, right? What is the default cluster port number, sir? What is the default cluster phone number? What is the default cluster port number? Come on, sir. What is the default cluster port number? Hmm. Anyone? Try in Google. Let me answer. What is the port number for cluster, Windows Failover Cluster?
Double three four three
Double three?
43.
Yes. 3343. 3343 is the default cluster port number. Default cluster port number. You need to remember, sir. Rare case, they may also ask this question. What is the port number for Windows Failover Cluster? 3343. Very important, sir. So now you know that what purpose you are going to build the VM, right? Okay. What purpose you are going to build the VM, right? Then you need to enable the ports. You need to enable the ports. So copy this one, click on next, click on next, click on next, and write SQL underscore ports. SQL underscore ports. Okay. Now for outbound also same, sir. For inbound, outbound also same. Okay. Outbound also you need to enable the ports. I will let you know what is the inbound, what is the outbound in depth, sir. No worries. Allow here also allow. Okay. So SQL ports, and we also do practical also. Uh, I don't want reveal, sir, because when we are going for troubleshooting, we'll discuss lots about ports also, troubleshooting when we are troubleshooting. I don't want to reveal couple of things here. Okay. This is how you will enable the ports, sir, in real world. But when you are practicing for safety purpose, sir, I mean to say the people who are first time doing all this stuff, right? Better for safety purpose, what you can do means, what you can do, allow all the ports, sir. Okay, don't do in real world this one. Allow all the ports when you are practicing. The first time the people who are practicing. Okay, the first time the people who are practicing, not much knowledge. Okay, all ports for just for safety purpose. No, it won't block anything, sir. Okay, just allow all the ports for you only, sir. For experienced people, You no need to allow all the ports. You already know what are the ports, what are the purpose you are going to build this VM. You know what are the ports they are listening. You can pass only those ports, sir, those port numbers. But the first time who are listening, please, okay, you can do one thing. You can allow the all the ports for safety purpose, sir. Is it clear, everyone? Yes? No? Sir, what is inbound? What is outbound, Subbu? First, assume this is your VM, okay, or this is your cloud. Okay, this is your cloud, or this is your VM. Okay, now this is your connecting device. So you wanted to connect inbound, and you it wanted to provide outbound. There is a wall. There is a wall. Uh, 1 second, sir. If for a better understanding, let's do one thing. Um, 1 second. Mm, Oh no, not there, sir. The slide is not there. Okay, yeah. So there is a wall, sir. Okay. Now there is a wall called firewalls. Okay, you need to allow the firewall so that it can try to access the services. Okay. Inbound, outbound. They need to send the response to the customer, right? So whatever what you are requesting, what response you need, what request you are sending, what response. So you need to allow the inbound, you need to allow the outbound. By default, if you are enabling the inbound, you no need to enable the outbound, sir. Okay, whatever the inbound it is allowing, outbound also by default it will go. But for safety purpose, okay, you can also allow the outbound rule. You can also allow the outbound rules. But once you enable the inbound, outbound also by default it will go, sir. But again, let it be, because you are doing something different. Okay, that time avoid to blocking the the firewalls are blocking your work. To avoid that, you can allow the inbound rule. You can also allow the outbound rules. Okay, this is the one thing where we done, sir. Now here, go to the view, go to the action, go to the quit, sir. Let's search for. I need to block the firewalls also. First, you need to do all this stuff, sir. Okay, let's go for Windows firewalls. Okay, let's turn it on. Windows firewall on and off. Turn it off. So I enable the inbound outbound rules, sir. Outbound rules enable. I disable the firewalls. Okay, I think my installation got completed. I think my installation got completed, sir. Okay, now see, once your installation got completed, it is asking to close, but you are getting a pop-up here. See, you got one pop-up, you got one notification here. Click on close it. Go to this place a pop-up. See, sir, it is asking promote this server to a domain controller server. Okay, promote this server as a domain controller server. Now you are trying to promote this server as a domain controller server. Means you are trying to configure domain. You are trying to configure a domain. Now whenever you click this one, you will get a new wizard called Active Directory Domain Service Configuration Wizard. You will get the domain service configuration wizard, where you need to provide the forest. Where you need to provide the forest. So you no need to go for existing or all the stuff, sir. Create a new forest. As I told you, okay. As I told you, domain every industry they will make one domain, sir. Domain name. Like I told you, right? NA, SA, AP. Okay, so NA North America, SA South America, AP Asia Pacific. So we will build the domains. Okay, we'll build the domains, and we will place the services. We will place all our resources under this domain. Whenever you see that, you can easily recognize. Okay, these services are belong to North America. These servers are belong to South America. These servers are belong to Asia Pacific. easily for recognition purpose, we are going to build the domains. We are going to build the domains. Now you need to build the domain, sir. Now I am going to for na.com. So every domain need to end with the .com. Every domain need to end with the .com. Can I change? Can I keep whatever name I want, sir? Yes, sir. Whatever name you can flexible, go on, place that name, sir. You no need to go for NA only. Whatever name you can go it. Now click on next. You are going to create a forest. Click on next. Whatever we are discussing today, mostly 85% you won't get chance in real world, sir. There will be separate team who will do everything for you. But here no one is there. That's the reason we are going to build everything from the scratch level.
Subbu, who will create the inbound outbound roles as a DBA we have to or
Windows
some
team.
security team? Windows team.
Windows team. Windows team, sir. This will be Active Directory team. AD team. This will be AD team. Firewalls, all the stuff. Windows team. Mostly, most of the stuff will do by Windows team. And there will be network team. There will be storage team. How many teams you are maintaining, sir? Okay, sometimes they won't maintain network team. Windows team will take care everything, sir. Okay. But you need to let them know what ports you need to enable. Okay, so being we are creating a new forest, we need to save our passwords, or in case something goes wrong, we can recover this one. But nothing to worry. We are not recovering any uh, domain, all the stuff. We are not part of AD team, sir. Okay. Just provide the password. Just click on next. Apart from nothing else here you need to do. Nothing, sir. Here, just click on next. Okay. Now by default you will get the domain name called NA because I selected na.com, right? By default you will get the domain name NA. NA is my domain, North America. Then click on next. Click on next. Okay. Now see, sir, your Active Directory domain service is also going to store in a database only. So background, it is using database only. Background, it is using database to store all the data. Okay, it is storing in database folder, log file. Okay, and some other things, sir. Nothing. You no need to think much about all this thing. Just click on next. Okay, same, sir. If you are working in on-prem also, same setup, same level of only the VMs you will build using the third-party tools. Everything how you are going to do here, this same thing you will do in the on-prem also. There is nothing difference. Click on install. While it is installing, sir, go to node 1. While it is installing, go to node 1. And I told you, right, here also you need to install. Node 1, node 2 belong to SQL. Okay, go to add and roles and features. Click on next. Click on next. Click on next. So here nothing, sir. You no need to install anything here. Click on next. Okay, being we are going to install SQL Server, we need to .NET Framework 3.5, and this server is also going to part of cluster. This server is also going to part of cluster. How many servers are going to part of cluster? All the servers need to install Failover Cluster Manager. This is very, very important. You need to install Failover Cluster Manager. You need to install Failover Cluster Manager. Install .NET Framework 3.5. Install Failover Cluster Manager. Apart from nothing else you need to do here, sir. Apart from nothing else you need to do here on the node 1 and node 2. On node 1, node 2, you no need to do anything, sir. Only install .NET Framework 3.5, okay, and Failover Cluster Manager. Whatever the servers are going to part of cluster, all the servers make sure that .NET Framework 3.5, sorry, Failover Cluster Manager is installed. Failover Cluster Manager is installed. See, Failover Cluster Management Tools is installed. Click on next. Click on install. Okay. Now the important is again, sir, back to, so we need to disable the firewalls for safety purpose, enable the ports. Disable the firewalls, enable the ports. Apart from nothing else you need to do, sir. So firewall, search for firewalls. So enable the inbound rules, outbound rules. Let's go here also. Let's disable this one. Okay, let's here also search for firewall. Here also do same thing, sir. Allow the inbound rules. So you already know the ports, right? So you can enable your ports. Click on next, click on next, click on next, and allow the ports. SQL ports. Click on finish. Okay, for safety purpose, allow all the ports, sir. But just for safety purpose, okay, you no need to enable, but just for our safety purpose, the people who are first time practicing, right? They don't want blocked by networks or blocked by ports because they are no, we are in learning phase, right? For them, that purpose only we are enabling the ports. Oh, VMs are very slow. See, domain is installed and VM got shut down, sir. See, VM got restarted automatically. Eh? Let's enable all the ports. All ports. All ports. Okay, go to the node 2 also. Enable ports. Let's enable all the ports. All ports. So first thing is disable the firewalls, enable the ports. Okay, done, sir. Okay, done. .NET Framework is installed. Failover Cluster Manager is installed. Here also ports are enabled. .NET Framework is installed and the Failover Cluster Manager is installed. Only one thing here we need to do is firewalls. Come on here. It's too slow. VM is too slow. Too slow. My network is good. Network is good. VMs are little slow today. One second, sir. Okay, let's come on here. W.ms. Let's open a firewall. Very slow, sir. Let's turn it off the firewalls. Okay. Here also we need to disable the firewalls. That's it, sir. Maximum half of the work we already done. Open control panel. Let's go to the no, not this one. Go to the control panel. Control panel. Okay, go and turn it off. Okay. Now once it is done, we will restart the all three VMs. Okay. Maximum half of the work is done. Okay, done, sir. Now let's restart all the VMs because we enable the ports, we disable the firewalls, right? Let's restart the VMs. Restart. Restart, sir. Okay, done, sir. Now let's go to the DC server. Now let it be restart the VMs. Okay, let's go to the DC server. Now I created a domain, right? What you can do, you can pass the domain name here, sir, na.com. Okay, I don't want to pass here, Subbu. Is there anything I can do? It means you can remove here, and you can also pass the here, sir, na slash. Okay, your login name. Either up to your wish, sir. When you are providing your login name, you can provide the domain name, or I can provide the dedicated domain name here, na.com or like na.com. So up to your wish, sir, what you wanted to, how you wanted to go, up to your wish. So let it be, I am passing my login name, password, domain name. So currently I'm in DC, sir. Let's open the DC server. It will take some time. So it will take some time. So it will maximum, it won't take that much because we already waited for longer time, right? Now see, now your server is configured. Now if you go to the local server, if you just go to the local server, whether this server is part of domain or not, whether this server is part of domain or not, when you go here, you will see the domain name. See, this is your computer name and this is your domain name. This is your computer name and this is your domain name. This server is part of domain. Okay, this server is part of domain. And of course, you know, sir, this is a domain server and it's a domain controller server as well. Okay, but this server is part of. Even if you go for ping, if you go for command prompt, okay, find the host name. You will get the host name, right? Copy the host name and just ping host name, sir. If you enter, now see, you will see server names dot domain name dot com. Okay, here you are getting the server name dot domain dot com. Okay, whenever you try to ping, you will get to know this server is part of under which domain. This server is part of under which domain. You will get that information as well. You will get that information as well. So this is the one thing, sir. So my server is part of domain. Okay, I'm super good. My DC back to healthy, and I configure domain controller. I also configure Active Directory. If you go to the run, if you search for dsa.msc, you can find the Active Directory. You can find the Active Directory users and computers. Okay, you can expand your domain. See, sir, you are able to see the domain. You can see the currently how many computers are being part of this domain. Any domain, nothing, sir, currently nothing, because I not had added this server to the domain. Okay, I just build the domain controller. Apart from nothing else, I can see the domain controller, I can see the users, I can see the managed security groups. Okay, lot many things here currently we can do, but not user. Active Directory people will do many things, okay, here. But we are seeing what you can do, right? Once you got selected for any project, try to open dsa.msc, sir. If you are able to open dsa.msc, you are a little lucky, because you can find the service accounts, you can find the expiry date, all the stuff. If you are unable to open DSR.MSC, then you need to completely rely on the Active Directory team. Most of the time, you need to rely on the Active Directory team. Even if you open DSR.MSC also, we will rely on the Active Directory team if you wanted to make any changes. If you wanted to make any changes, you need to rely on the Active Directory team only. Okay. Now, see, even you can open DNS manager as well. DNS mgmt.msc. Okay, you can open DNS manager. You can open Active Directory, because this server I installed as a domain controller. This server I installed at the Active Directory, and this server I also installed the DNS also, right? So if you go to the DNS, if you go to the forward lookup zone, if you go to the domain name, here you can see your computer name. See, your computer name is mapped to your IP address. In the DNS, your computer name is mapped to the DNS. Okay, DNS, your computer name is mapped to the DNS. You are able to see this is your computer name, this is your IP address, this is your IP address. Okay, let's see some information here. We could see some information here. Okay, apart from nothing else, we won't do all this stuff in real world, so don't get confused. Okay, now I need to add these servers to the domain, because this server is a traditional server. This server is also traditional server, not part of domain, sir. Let's open these two servers. Let's open these two servers. Let's provide the password. I'm not sure why it is asking many times. Okay, these servers are traditional servers. Still, these servers are not being part of domain. Still, this servers is not part of domain. Let's go and add these servers to the part of domain, sir. First, that is our first important. Once you build domain controller, you need to add the servers to the domain. You need to add servers to the domain. Now let's go and add the servers to the domain, sir. Let's see what challenge you will face when you are adding the domain to the when you are adding servers to the domain. When you are adding servers to the domain, what challenge you will face? Let's see, sir. Okay, now go to Open Server Manager, go to the local system. Open Server Manager, go to the local system. See, currently this server is part of domain na.com. This server is showing as a work group, sir. Whenever you see the work group, this is your computer name, this is your work group. Means this server is not part of domain. Okay, both servers are not part of domain. First, what I need to do, I need to add this server to part of domain. Okay, now go to the work group, click on work group, click on change. Now you need to pick the domain and you need to provide the domain name inna.com and click on OK. Now you are trying to. So this the default error message you will get it. In case if you not done properly like firewalls, ports, okay, firewalls, ports, this is the common error you will get it. You can't add. You can't add it, sir. You can't add it. This is the one of the biggest challenge you will face in on-prem also you will face same challenge. Even in cloud also you will face same challenge. In on-prem also you will face same challenge. Cloud also you will face same challenge. So now let's open command prompt, sir. Open CMD and ping the server, sir. Ping DC. Okay, DC server. Ping DC server. See, my DC server is responding. My DC server is responding not with the domain name. See, I can't see the domain name here. Okay, I can't see. Actually, my server is part of NA domain. I am getting response, but not with the domain name. Not with the domain name, sir. Now what I need to do means, especially when you are working with cloud, okay, go to the portal, sir. Go to the portal. This server is belong to the domain, right? This is the domain controller server, right? So this is very important. You need to remember after you disable the firewalls, enable the ports, everything is done. You restarted the servers, everything is done. What you need to do means this server is a domain controller server. Whatever the server is part of domain controller server, copy the private IP address, copy the private IP address of the domain controller server, copy the private IP address of the domain controller server, go to the network, open the network, go to that network, sir, wherever which the servers node 1, node 2 belong to which network. Node 1, node 2 belongs to which network. Go to the that network, sir, that network. Under that network, you will see the DNS. You will see the DNS servers. Go to that DNS servers, go to the custom, add the IP address. So copy paste won't work, sir. So manually type it the IP address. Okay, 10.1.1.4 dot. Okay, copy paste won't work. Just type the IP address. Go to the VM. Go to the domain network, and along with the server network, and go to that network. Go to the DNS and add the domain controller server network IP address. Get the IP address, add it here, sir, and click on save. This is very, very important. This is very, very important, sir. After you add it, wait for 2 to 3 seconds because it need to reflect, right? Wait for 2 to 3 seconds. Just it won't take more time. Okay. Once you add, so go. I went to the network. I went to the DNS. I added the domain controller server IP address into the DNS. Now go to the back to the server, sir. Okay. Let's click on OK. Cancel. Okay. Refresh. Okay. Work group. Change domain name na.com. This is very, very important, sir. I need to restart the VMs, I think so. If it is not working. Okay, better, sir. Let me do one thing. Let me restart the VMs. Okay, just it won't take more time. Just I told you, right? You need to do multiple restarts. Okay, that's the reason I configured mremote ng, sir. Why I configure mremote ng means I need to do multiple time restarts. Every time I need to pass the username, passwords. Oh my God. Okay, I don't want to do that stuff, sir. That's the reason I configure mremote ng and just double click on this one. Now my VM is ready. Why it is asking every time password? Only for this server it is asking password. Okay, almost both servers are ready. So first thing, you need to add the servers to the domain. This is very, very important, sir. If you do any mistake, here itself you will get the break. Okay, the servers won't be part of domain. If you want to play anything, your servers need to part of domain. So first you need to build the domain na.com. Click on OK. Now see it is working. Now you need to provide the domain name. Okay, na/sa admin, and you need to provide the password. You need to provide the password. DC server username and password. Okay, done, sir. This server is part of domain. Click on close. Now you can click on restart, sir. Let it be restart once again. Now you can go here, sir. Where you are in? You are in DC, right? You can just refresh here. You will see the server name. See, node 2 is part of NA domain. And even you go to the DNS also, you will see the refresher here. You will see the node 2, which is mapped to 10.1.1.6. So now you are integrating the servers to the DNS. You are integrating servers to the domain. You are integrating servers to the DNS. You are also integrating the servers to the DNS and domain, sir. Now I need to add the node 1 as well. Same hierarchy. Go to the server manager. Go to local system. Go to workgroups. Okay, change domain and na.com. Just click on OK. You need to provide a login name. SA admin, and you need to provide welcome@123.
This password is a VM password you have given while creating
password.
VM?
VM only,
Okay.
sir. VM password. Okay, now this server is also part of the domain. Now you can refresh here. You will see one more entry in the DNS. You will see one more entry in the Active Directory. Is it clear? No. Yes. This is the first thing, sir, we need to do. This is complete scratch level. Okay. So how you are going to build the infrastructure? Now you build the infrastructure. Your infrastructure is ready. Now what you need to do? You need to provide the domain name here. .com. This is very important, sir. Don't forget here you need to update the domain once your server is part of domain. Now you need to connect. Now it will connect using domain name. So why node 1 is asking every time? Okay, now it is not asking, sir. Okay, now it is connecting via domain account. It is also connecting via domain account. So now we what we done, sir? We build 3 VMs. Forget about this one. We built 3 VMs. Okay, we created Active Directory. We created domain controller. We created DNS. We integrated these servers to the Active Directory. So half of the work is done, sir. Only the pending part is shared disks. We need to create the shared disks. So can I go and create the shared disk, sir? Can I go and create the shared disks? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, now go to the DC server, this server is also belong to the shared storage, right? Close it, sir. I don't want all this stuff. Now let's go to the disk, sir. First, I am able to see the disk or not. First, go to this disk. Okay, I'm not able to see the disk. I created a disk, sir. Okay, I added the disk to the DC server, but it is not visible here. Open disk management, disk mgmt.msc. Okay, now see, sir, I can see the disk which I created. Here, when you are going to initialize, there are 2 formats, sir, MBR format, GPT format. What do you mean by MBR format? Means your maximum disk capacity will be 2 terabytes. If you go for MBR, the disk capacity maximum will be 2 TB. It can't grow more than 2 terabytes, sir. Better don't go for MBR format. Go for GPT where you can keep your disk to the more than 2 terabytes, and it will also improve the performance. Disk level performance also improves, sir. Go for better GPT format. Better go for GPT format. Your disk capacity can be greater than 2 terabytes. Okay. Now see, sir, I need to initialize here. Now this is the disk I created. Okay. Now I need to initialize. Go to the property. Okay. No. Initialize, right? Not property. Go to the new sample. Click on next. Click on next. So I need to let's go for G drive, sir. I think there is no G drive, right, in my system. No, G drive. Click on next and mention like a sandbox, easily for understanding, sandbox, and go for 64K allocation unit. We'll talk in this upcoming session, sir. Then click on next, click on finish. Okay. Now here you can see, sir, when I open my computer, I can see the disk. The disk is initialized, sir. It is formatting. Okay, now it is healthy. Now you can see the disk here. Are able to see? You are having almost 1 terabyte. Okay, 1 terabyte. Now open this one. What you can do, right? Create one folder called SQL default. Any name, sir, whatever name you want. Okay, create one folder, sir. Just create one folder. Okay, apart from nothing else you need to do. Okay, close it. Now I need to create the shared storage. Okay, now I need to create the shared storage. Go to the files and storage services. Okay, go to the files and storage services. Sir, I'm in DC. I am in DC. Please keep the name, I'm in DC. Everything I'm doing in DC only. It is a domain controller, it is an Active Directory, it's a sandbox, it's a cluster, everything I will do in the DC server only. Okay. Now I chosen the files and storage. Now I need to go for iSCSI. To create the iSCSI virtual disk, start the new iSCSI virtual disk wizard. You need to click on this one. Okay, it will open a new wizard, sir. Now I need to create a iSCSI disks. Now you need to select the disk location. Okay, I already created the disk location, sir. Where I created? Under the G drive. There is a folder called SQL_default. Here I need to create the disks. Here I need to create the shared disks. Currently it is empty. Now go to go to browser, go to Z drive, go to SQL default, click on select. Okay, select, click on next. You need to provide, sir. Sir, now you already know. Okay. We are installing SQL on cluster. You can't store your data in the locally. So you need a data file drive, you need a log file drive, you need a backup drive, you need tempdb drive, correct? Yes or no? Agree, not agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now I'm going for data drive.
So under
Okay.
that folder, you're mentioning
Creating
all
a
the
drive.
drives.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Click
Not
on
a
next.
subdirectory or
No. Under that only I'm creating a directories. I'm creating a shared disks. I'm
shared
creating a iSCSI shared disk. Okay. Now I'm going for 25 GB. 25 GB is enough. Okay, let's go for 50 GB. Okay, 50 GB. Data files. Sir, I'm not creating any databases. Nothing. I'm doing nothing. I said just configuration, right? I'm just going for 50. Now, whenever you are going for 50, whether it will be fixed size or it can be dynamically expanding. Okay, whether it can expand future, it can expand the disk or it will be fixed size. Let's go for dynamically expanding the disk, sir. Then click on next. Okay. Now here, mostly in real world, you won't create the iSCSI disk, sir. There will be SAN storage they will map. In real world, there will be SAN storage they will map. We don't have any sandboxes, sir. We don't have any sandbox, right? We are using iSCSI to create the shared storage. We are creating shared storage, sir. But in real world, they will create the storage using sandbox and they will map the they will map the storage to the disk. You no need to do anything, sir. Click on next. Oh, sorry. I need to create a target. Means I am creating a disk where I can use this disk. So where I can mention means in the target. In the target. Click on next. So here I need to provide the target name, like SQL default. Let it be SQL default only. Click on next. Click on add. Sir, this is very important. Okay. When you are working in on-premises, no problem. But when you are especially working with the cloud, when you are, sir, in on-prem, what we can do means you can go here, you can access your servers using IP addresses. Okay, and you can add the target. You can add the target means node 1 IP address you can get it, node 2 IP address you can get it, and you can add as a target. Where, sir? In on-prem. In on-prem. But especially you are in cloud, right? You should not go for this wizard, sir. You need to go for this wizard only. Okay, and provide the server name. Node 1 hyphen SQL. This is very important, sir. When you are specially working with Azure, you should not go for IP addresses while you are adding a target. While you are adding a target, you should go with the name only. You should go with the name only so that it will get the fully qualified domain name. So that it will get the fully qualified domain name. This is very important point. You should not go for this one. You should go only for this technique, sir. Okay, when you are adding a target. When you are adding a target, you need to go with the name only. See, sir, once you add a target, it is also creating a domain name. See, sir, IQN dot 191-191-05.com, Microsoft dot, then your server name. This is the default domain name you will get it. Default DNS you will get it when you go for iSCSI. When you go for iSCSI, this is the default name you will get it, and this is your server name. Okay, you no need to worry about all this stuff, sir. Then click on add. Provide the node 2. Node 2. Let's click on browser. Okay, you can hear, you can get the. Okay, let it be node 2 hyphen SQL. SQL. Check. Okay. Okay, click on OK. Now, within these two servers, I want to access this disk. Can I access this disk in different servers? No. No. If you want to access, you need to add the target. You need to add the server into the target. Whatever the target servers, only those servers you can access this disk, sir. You can't access anywhere. Okay, please keep it in mind. This is very important. Okay, nothing you need to do. I am having only 2 servers. I added only 2 servers. Then click on next. Nothing. This should be default. Click on, so whatever you selected, it is displaying completely. Okay, then click on create. Click on create. Now it is creating a iSCSI shared disk. Now you can go to the path. Are you able to see the disk, sir? Are you able to see the disk? Everyone?
Yeah.
In this G drive, in the SQL default, you are able to see the disk. Okay, data drive. Like same, I need to create the log drive, I need to create the temp drive, all this stuff, sir. Okay, now click on task, new iSCSI virtual disk. Okay, choose the location. Choose the location. Now it's very easy, sir. Okay. Now this I'm specifying as a log. Going for 45 GB. A target is already there, sir. You no need to create now target. It's very easy, sir. Now just you need to provide disk type, so disk name, size. Apart from nothing else you need to do. Okay, for backups, so tempdb, 35 GB I'm going for tempdb. So 50 GB I went for data file, 45 GB I went for log, and 35 GB I went for tempdb. And for backups also, random storage, sir, I'm selecting. Okay, for backups. Okay, let it be backups only. Go for 25. Okay, now whatever I want for SQL, I created, sir. For SQL, I need data file. For SQL, I need log file. For SQL, I need backup file. For SQL, I need tempdb. I created all the stuff, sir. Now, along with this one, I need to create two more things, sir. Two more. Okay. One is for quorum. I need to show you disk quorum. I need to show you disk quorum, right? I am just creating the disk quorum as well. Okay. For future quorum. Click on next, and I need to go for MB, sir. I no need to go for GPs also. Let's go for 500 MB. Let's go for 500 MB. Let it be create the quorum disk as well. Now I wanted to show you MSDTC as well. Let's go and create one more disk on for MSDTC, sir. MSDTC. Okay, this I'm going for only 400 MB. Enough. Not much. Let's go for MSDTC as well. So done, sir. Now we completed SQL related disks. We also created the for MSDTC we created, for quorum also we created. For MSDTC we created, for quorum also we created, sir. Going forward, I wanted to tell MSDTC configuration. I wanted to tell quorum disk, how to configure quorum disk, how to configure file share, how to configure cloud witness. So we are having different types, right? So out of that, one type is quorum, one type is disk, sir. That's the reason I created a quorum as well. Now, once you create all the shared disks, go to the node 1, close it, sir. Nothing we need to do. Okay. Now, go to start window, go to Windows Administrator Tools. Okay. Now open iSCSI Initiator. Okay. And it is asking Microsoft iSCSI service is not running. Can I start this service? Yes, sir. You need to start this service. Let it be start. Okay. And it will open the iSCSI Initiator. Now see, sir, when I open disk mgmt.msc. Now I'm able to see only two drives, sir. One is C drive, one is D drive. Nothing apart from nothing else I'm able to see. Even I open my computer also. Even I open my computer also, I can see only this stuff. I can able to see only this stuff, C drive, D drive. Apart from nothing else I'm able to see. Now, what you need to do? So you already created the SAN on the DC server, right? You know the IP address of the SAN server. What is the IP address of the SAN server? Okay, 10.1.1.4. So if you go to the DC server, what is the DC server IP address? Don't go for public, sir. I'm not touching anything. Public is just for RDP purpose. I'm not using anywhere public, sir. Everywhere I will use the private only. 10.1.1.4. Now what you need to do? So open the iSCSI initiator. Okay, click on start. Now 10.1.1.4. Click on quick connect. Connected. Click on done. That's it, sir. Apart from nothing else, click on OK. Now go to the disk. Now see, sir, you were able to see all the disks. See, you were able to see all the disks which you created on the DC server. Whatever the disk you created on the DC server, it is all are visible here. Now you need to initialize all the disks, sir. It is currently not yet initialized. It is asking to initialize. Right click here. Okay, right click here. Initialize the disk. Okay, GP, all the disk I am initializing at one shot. All the disk I am going for GPT format only. So later on I can increase my storage to more than 2 terabytes. Okay, all are came to initialize state. Now I need to do what I need to do. I need to build the segregate like drive letters, names, everything properly. I need to keep it. So see, now still my disks are not any disks are visible here. Nothing is visible because I need to initialize the disk. So right click here, new sample, click on next, click on next. So go to G drive. Okay, click on next. So I'm going for data drive. Data drive. This is the data drive, sir, because it's a 50 GB, 64K. Click on next. Click on finish. Okay, now I need to go for log temp DB backup. Like every disk I will initialize, sir. Okay, now see you are able to see the disk. Refresh. Come on, yeah. Why still? Yeah, are able to see the drive? Now I am able to see the drive. See, sir? Okay, like same. Let's go and initialize all the disks, sir. So that is the one reason why I went for different sizes, sir, for easily recognition purpose. Okay, a data drive I went for 50 GB, log drive I went for 45 GB. Okay, why why you just went for different sizes for easily for recognition purpose? It will make very smoother for us while you are going to configure. But in real world also the sizes will vary, sir. This is L drive, right? I'm going for L, so I'm mentioning log. Let's go for 64K. Finish. Finish. Now let's go for this is the thing is we need to do it. So one of the worst thing. Click on next. Click on next. This is temp DB, right? I am going for tier drive. Temp DB. Go for 64. Even 100 MB also it is getting slow server. If I go for 30 MB speed, oh my god. It's a backup, right? Backup. I can go for Z drive. Z. Let's go for Z drive for backups. In real world also mostly backups they will keep in the Z drive, sir. Okay, I'm also choosing same thing. Backups. Okay, finish. And now finally quorum and MSDDC, sir. This is 500 MB. I just went for quorum. Quorum I'm going for Q drive. Q stands for quorum. Quorum. Finally MSDDC.
Subbu, drive key is dedicated to quorum in live environment. I mean, dedicatedly queue for only quorum.
You can specify whatever drive letter you want, sir, but let it be. By seeing the drive letters, you can easily recognize, right?
Okay. Okay.
I'm going for MSDDs, right? I'm going for M.
Now, previous faculty said Q is dedicated for quorum only. So just
Oh,
getting some little clarification.
it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, Q stands for quorum, M stands for MSDDC, D stands for data files, L stands for no, sir. We can go for different. Assume you are having two data file drives. You are having two data file drives. You are having two log file drive. Two log file drive. Then can you create one more L drive? No, right? Only one drive, one L drive, right? In one server, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And then that is not a logic, sir. Just by seeing the naming itself, we can easily recognize we are going for Q for quorum, M for MSDDC, L for log. Okay, and Z, B for backup. Not like that. Okay, basically whatever drive letter you can go it, sir. That's not a big deal. Okay, now see I'm able to see all the drives, sir. Data drive, log drive, MSDDC, quorum, tempdb, backups. Like same. Let's go to the node 2. Let's open the administrator tools. Let's start the iSCSI here also. Click on S. Okay, here provide the IP address 10.1.1.4. Okay, click on quick connect. Connected, done. Okay, now let's open dsr.msc as a disk, not dsr.msc, disk mgmt.msc. I no need to do all the initialize all this stuff, sir. By default, it will get it. Okay, we no need to do again. See, sir, by default you will get it, but the drive letters are different. See, okay. So actually, data drive I went for G drive, log I went for L drive, temp I went for T drive. See, the drive letters has been changed here. You no need to do all the stuff whatever you done on the node 1, sir. Only one thing is the drive letters will mismatch. So just you need to do change the drive letters, sir. Change the drive letters. Change the drive letters. Apart from nothing else you need to do, sir. It's for log. Just change the drive letters. Apart from nothing, make sure that whatever the drive letters you are using in the node 1, use the same drive letter on the node 2 also. Just change for best practice. You no need to do anything, sir. Just change the drive letters. M for MSDDC, right? M for MSDDC, okay, okay. Q for quorum. T for temp. Okay, done. So our not half, sir, almost we done. We build the infrastructure today. Okay. Now we are ready to build a Windows Failover Cluster. That I am not doing now because you already overloaded. Everyone is overloaded, or can I build a Windows Failover Cluster? Can I freshly take
Yeah,
tomorrow?
next day is
Next day.
better. Yeah, too much complicated things.
No, every time I will do same thing, sir. It's not. I won't build a Windows Failover Cluster right away because this is something new to everyone. So complete infrastructure. Okay. So we are almost good, sir. We are almost ready because you can go and verify Failover Cluster Manager is installed. Failover Cluster Manager is installed. In Node 2 also Failover Cluster Manager is installed. So we are almost ready. Okay. So tomorrow we'll try to build the Windows Failover Cluster, and we will build active passive cluster, SQL cluster, active SQL cluster. Okay. Clear? Not clear? Everything. Everyone clear, sir? How to build a infrastructure for Windows Failover Cluster? Okay. That's it, sir, today. Don't disconnect, okay? Let's stop the recording. Okay, once again, happy Diwali, advance happy Diwali to everyone. Okay. Please be safe. Okay. Especially who is having kids, please be safe, very safe. Okay. We'll back on Friday. Okay. Then we will build the Windows. So now what we need to do, right? Now I no need to delete. Now I no need to delete. Don't go and delete the resource groups, sir. Again, you need to do everything from scratch level. So now what you will do, right? Choose the VMs, select all the VMs and stop the VMs. Microsoft won't charge that much, sir. Okay. Stop the VMs. Microsoft won't charge that. He will charge, but he will charge very minimally. He won't charge that much because your resources are in the stopped state. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. See you on Friday.
Subbu.
Yes.
Subbu, with DNS we configured, right? It is on a masking network level or network group level?
Masking.
Actually, we are given the IP address is the DNS level, right?
Virtual network level.
Okay, virtual network level.
Virtual network level. Go to that virtual network. Go to the DNS and you need to map the IP address.
So this DNS configured for
domain.
that
For domain. To
domain.
add the domain. To add the domain to the servers, we are mapping here. So there are a lot again. See, if you go for networking, if you go for domain control, there are many things. This is the simplest hierarchy if you want to build the VMs infrastructures. Better than this also there are. Okay, where we won't, because we are not being part of any one of this team, right? But very simplest technique is this is the one, sir. There is a concept called DNS. See, you can do many things here. You can do many things here. Okay, you can also build the domain here. Here also you can build the domain. Here also you can build the domain. Here also you can build the DNS. There are many. We are not touching all the stuff. I hope everyone getting my point. Okay. So
in Azure itself, without going to domain controller.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There are many, sir. Many things. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
See you on Friday.
Happy Diwali to you.
Happy. Thank you. Thanks. Please be safe, sir. Once again. Okay, everyone. Have a safe festival.